What are you discussing, Shane?
Well, today we are talking about the one match which I think all of us are excited for in the Asia Cup, India's opening match.
Is there a buzz? Is there a buzz developing?
Yeah, 100%. There's plenty of
No,
buzz.
are you feeling it?
Yes, definitely.
Where have you been seeing social media?
Yes, reading what people are saying, what former players, experts are saying. This is obviously a lot of.
So fill us in, and everyone else in what the experts and everyone.
Well, there's a lot of talk on Kohli. He also had some interesting things to say, by the way.
Kohli?
Yes.
What exactly did he say?
He said, "Oh, this is a real kicker." He said, "I'm not worried about my form."
He's not.
He's not
Worried about his form.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
where has he said this, by the way?
He said it. So I was actually preparing. I have one video to do after this dugout
Okay.
as well.
Then you will tell in detail.
Yeah. I'd
Okay.
said in detail there, but he had said it to the broadcasters. So there was, I think, they're having those shows before where he said that, in England I was not batting well because there was one particular issue which I feel I overcame over time. Now, with the way my form is right now, I don't know if there's one specific thing I can point to that I have to work on, so I'm not worried.
Very good. So that's his state of mind.
That's his
Which
take
means
on
that Virat is in that zone, and it's very rare of a batsman to come out and say that he's not worried about his form and the fact that he's feeling confident, which means that you could actually see the Virat of old. This was exactly the kind of confidence he would exude when he was scoring runs, and this is good news.
But why are you saying it's rare for batsmen to say that? Most batsmen don't accept that they are not.
But for him to say that in England I was making a mistake and now I cannot pinpoint.
So which England he's talking about? That 2014?
No.
The one which happened recently, the one
So
of
he's
Test
saying
and the ODI.
that 2-3 months ago, when the last that he played, he had certain problems, weaknesses, but now he's overcome. He said that he's overcome.
He says that at that point I felt there was a particular weakness. I think he's referring to the outside off thing because I was troubling him a lot. He's saying I felt like I overcame that, but if we're looking at the bigger picture, I don't think there's a problem.
Where did he overcome? He has not played cricket after.
That's what even I have
think
no idea.
it's mental.
Okay, I don't know. I have a feeling he's talking about that one previous bad phase where he had in England last time, that 2014, where he knew that there was one particular weakness. So he worked on it and got back into form. This time around, the second time that he's gone through a bad phase, he feels that there is no one particular weakness as such.
There's nothing he can pinpoint specifically.
So which means that, I think he's talking about the state of mind. I think what Virat is trying to say is that like you said, there is no particular weakness that I have, and it could be a combination of everything or nothing at all, and the fact that I'm mentally happy. I think that's what he's trying to, which is good news for India actually.
But mentally happy he's been for a long time.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe during that brief awkward phase of captaincy and he may not have been
I think
in the best frame of mind.
the break that he took, maybe he's referring to that this break may have helped me mentally. My batteries are recharged. I think this is what he's trying to convey. But the fact that for him to come out and say that he's confident, he's not. I won't say he's not bothered about his lack of form. No batsman, like Nikhil said, would ever not be concerned about his lack of form. But for him to come out and say that he's happy and that he's going to score runs is good news for India.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get there only.
So he did.
Oh no, big. See, I'm telling you. He was talking about 2014. That's what I thought, that he couldn't have been this. So what he's trying to say is, I didn't read this, but just judging from his statement, it was clear what he's trying to say. In 2014, there was a particular problem that he had, that outside the off stump time in 2014. So he knew this is the problem and I'll fix it. What he's saying right now is that there is no one particular pattern. I don't know how to see that.
14.
Yes. 14 there was one area.
Evidence.
So he worked on it, came back. Now what he's saying is that there is no one pattern. I don't know how to see this statement. This could also mean, see, there are two ways.
Let's go down a bit
Read his quote.
Yeah. So he's saying that right now, as you rightly mentioned, there is nothing that you can point out saying that the problem is happening here. So that for me is actually an easier thing to process, because I know that I am batting well, and at times when I start feeling that rhythm back, then I know that I'm batting well. So that for me is not an issue, which wasn't the case in England. Then in 14, and I didn't feel like I was batting well at all in 14. So I had to work hard on one thing that was in 14. That could be exposed again and again 14. But right now, that is not the case.
Yes. So what he is saying, that time there was a particular area, there was a weakness, I worked towards it, so I fixed it. But this time there is no one particular area that I'm, and he says this is actually good for me. Though to the contrary, I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes. To the contrary, if I was in Virat's position, I would feel more comfortable in 2014, because at least I would know that this is the problem area and I need to fix it. If at the moment there is no one particular problem area that he has identified, though he goes on to say that this is better, he says that is actually an easier process, because he's saying right now this is an easier process to come out of form, because I know that I'm batting well, and at times when I start feeling that rhythm back. So that's what he is saying. But if you ask me, if I was in his shoes, I would rather be in the position of 2014, where I know that this is the problem area, I need to fix it, than this position where runs are not coming and I don't know what the problem area is.
And at times, as he says, he talks about that pattern, and sometimes when I get in the rhythm, I think even we noticed that a lot when he was playing. There'd be times he did 2 sixes. You're thinking, oh, the rhythm is bad. Then he holds out.
So isn't that a more...
it is, because there's no one thing to fix. And in fact, I think a lot of discussions we've had, we've also mentioned that, what is it that isn't troubling him at this point? He'll be troubled by a ball coming in, he'll be troubled by off spin, he'll be troubled by leg spin. So that's actually more worrisome, as you say.
Yeah, I have a different point of view from Virat Kohli, though in this case, there can be nobody better than Virat himself to say.
So in such cases, Nikhil, either you lose your game, and you can't come back, you never come back, or it could actually be a break that you need, a mental break, and you recharge your batteries. I think what Virat is alluding now is that he's recharged himself, and that when you play long enough and when you're not scoring runs, certain mistakes also creep in. You tend to make more mistakes. When you're getting runs, you're also lucky, you know how to make runs, and there's a pattern that you follow every inning. And I feel, having read what Virat said, I feel he's now alluding to the mental break that he's taken. And he must have started batting in the nets. He must have been batting in the nets. And maybe when you start batting after a small or a long break, you know exactly the back left, the way you see the ball, the mind. And I hope what he's saying also translates into match winning runs in the first game itself. If he starts well, then you never know, but he needs to start well.
No, I would be if I was a fan of Virat Kohli, I'm a fan of Virat Kohli's batting anyway, I'm a bit more worried by this. Because I'll tell you why.
Where he says that he can't pinpoint.
Yes, I'll tell you why. All this time, because as a fan of his batting, and how can you not be a fan of his batting for someone who's got so many runs? You have, you have to be. I am an admirer of Virat Kohli. All this time, you think that Virat Kohli is this Superman, because he was this Superman on the field, and I even thought that he's a Superman. Now, when he went through that bad phase in 2014. I saw that quality that he could fix a certain issue. He could go to the dressing room and fix it. Now when he was not getting runs, I thought that yes, there is some weakness, and we were hoping that he'll come back to form. So I believe that he knows what the problem is. He knows what the problem is between you and me, and so I know that while from the outside we may say anything that this is not working, but he on the inside knows far more than you and I, and he's fixing that problem.
But there've been 8 years that have gone by. And in 14, he must have been 8 years younger, and that was his first bad patch. And that age, you're just learning every day. You're developing your game. You're trying to understand the international circuit, even though he'd been playing for India for 6 years then. But he was on his way up. And that was his first blip. And for him to come out of that, I think, like you said, there were certain weaknesses. He had to work on his game. But he doesn't really have to work on his game now.
Yeah. No,
His game is, if not 100%, very close to being 100% complete. So there would be mistakes that he makes. There'd be mistakes that he'd be forced to make. And I think now, looking at him the last couple of years, he's been repeating the mistakes because he's been forced to make the mistakes. And that is not because of any technical issue. I think, again, it is the mental strain perhaps which is dictating technical flaws. I don't know what comes first, the egg or the hen, but the fact is I think the mental strain has taken its toll.
Just stop.
He taken breaks before this also, but I don't know. My only worry is that if he'd gone to Zimbabwe, maybe he would have had game time. And having seen KL Rahul struggle in Zimbabwe, the first game he had no clue. Second game he was struggling, but he spent a lot of time. He wasn't fluent, but then still 2 games, and then he goes to the Asia Cup. Virat somehow played in England, but straight away he's playing the Pakistan game, which is a high pressure, high voltage game. Not that Virat hasn't played such games. He's the most I would say somebody who revels in such situations. But again, the only small little worry is that he may not have time to acclimatize himself to the conditions, to the opposition, to the match situation, because this is India versus Pakistan in a T20 game.
And also there's no guarantee, because that's what I'm saying, because he's not identified any problem area, there's no guarantee that mind space is fine and that mistakes don't happen. You said no, he's been making mistakes. How do I know? See, when you work, let's say if I'm doing a mistake and I've identified why that mistake is happening, then I work towards that particular thing to eliminate it. So everything is, there's a process involved. But right now, if I do not know where I'm going wrong, I do not know what to rectify, is what I'm a bit worried about. A couple of points which you could add on, which are based on exactly what we are saying. So Aditya Kavlekar is saying Kohli was in form before the IPL, he was just not getting hundreds, but the back-to-back ducks during IPL have affected him.
I think more and more T20 games have actually magnified the fact that he's not having the best of times. Just to add here, Nikhil, while it is difficult from the outside to know how a batsman or a bowler feels, I had a conversation once with Sachin Tendulkar. I thought it was a very irrelevant question, very stupid question. I asked him, I said, Sachin bhai, are there days when you wake up in the morning and you know that you'll get runs? And having played a bit of Mohalla cricket, I knew that there cannot be any such day, because your batting or your bowling doesn't really happen according to your own wish. So I was expecting either a no, there are no such days, or I was expecting Sachin to just laugh it off. He got serious. He said, yes, there are days when I know I will score runs. I said, what days? He said, the day I wake up in the morning with an empty blackboard in front of me, mentally, and there are no questions in my mind when I wake up, that is the day when I get runs. Yes, a bowler may get me out, but more often than not, I have scored runs when I wake up without any pressure, without any questions in my mind. So maybe Virat may be feeling exactly the same. We don't know.
But we'll have to wait for the morning of Sunday, how he feels.
He will have to wait.
Yeah.
We'll have to maybe wait for the evening of Sunday.
We'll have to wait for the evening. Yeah.
We'll have to wait for the evening of Sunday.
Yeah.
And hopefully, because see, it is an important game for both the teams. And since we are in India and we support the Indian team, more so for India, Because India lost to Pakistan in a World Cup game last year, which destroyed your World Cup dreams. The Indian team wasn't bad. It's just that they played horrible that day. The batting was horrible. I think even though they didn't have too many runs on the board,
The bowling was much better.
I think your leadership was also very mediocre that day. India lost. India
Upari.
lost the World Cup as well. So considering that, if I were to look at the two teams man to man, India is far ahead, far superior, both in terms of the mix of experience and youth that you have, the skills that you have, the experience that you have, and the fact that India has played some 27, 28 T20s after the World Cup.
Yes.
And Pakistan have played what, 6 or 7? And just 2 against Australia, I suppose. The rest have been against West Indies and Zimbabwe, or Bangladesh, or Sri Lanka. Doesn't matter. So that way, India is well prepared. It's just that India needs to start well. They just need to start well.
On the subject of Virat, Pradyuman Singh also points out, he says that I think now Virat wants to live life like a normal cricketer for some time, not like a hero who dominated the world. He would surely want to dominate the world.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
He's too competitive a character to want a normal cricketer's life.
No, but how can he live a normal cricketer?
Exactly. What is normal
By going
See,
a scooty.
the next question, the next feedback is from Shubham. Who's now, this is a dichotomy, who says that just leave that poor guy alone. No, I am not his fan. Rohit is my favorite, but I think Kohli shouldn't be talked about. It puts pressure on him, personal opinion. So, you got both the views. Pradyuman is saying that maybe Virat wants to be a normal cricketer. And Shubham has just pointed out that he cannot be a normal cricketer. People like Nikhil, Vikrant and Shane will discuss him. And the fact is that he'd be discussed.
But how will it put pressure on him? Does he watch sports today? How will he know?
You should never know. He used to, I think, get an idea of what SportsTak was doing. But since Sports Today is the sister, brother, or baby of SportsTak, maybe that's not the point. It's not just you and me who are discussing this, Nikhil. It is the world. I mean, look at statements from Pakistan. Have you heard of anything of Rohit Sharma? Any Pakistani former player talking about Rohit Sharma? Any Sahafi? Any Sahafi? Any Sabik cricketer? Any fan talking about Rohit Sharma or
Actually, Wasim did mention that Surya is his favorite.
Yeah, Wasim Akram.
Yeah. He mentioned.
And incidentally, I think Wasim Akram was with the KKR.
Yes, correct. When
Surya was also with KKR.
Yeah, he was the bowling coach at that point.
And I value somebody like Wasim Akram's
opinion on this.
Not just Surya. I mean, his opinion on cricket.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows his game. I also somehow like Rashid Latif a lot. He gets into the skin. He is so technical, and he doesn't really, he gets into the subject. So Rashid Latif again.
Just Roklin, I think.
But my point is that he may not be the India captain anymore. But Pakistan, India, the former players, the commentators, the media, people will talk about Virat Kohli.
It's not possible to not.
Yeah. And if you were to tell me that Virat doesn't want this attention, you're kidding me. Players like Virat, Muhammad Ali,
they thrive on these. In fact, I remember when
the only problem is that we've been saying this for like almost
2 years now.
2 years. That you remember when the captaincy had gone, and we said this is the moment that he likes his back against the wall.
Even before that, so I remember 2020. We're all emerging from the lockdowns. IPL is finally happening in UAE, and a lot of people said we made a slow start that. I think KP was one of the people who mentioned Kevin Peterson. He said that once the crowds are in a little bit, he feeds off that energy. He thrives off that energy. Didn't quite happen.
Yeah. Also, so. The thing is that we have been using this same logic for Virat Kohli, hoping that pressure is against him, he's
back against the wall, him against the world,
strike back, but it's not happened. Silly Point has a request for you if you have any contact in ICC. He's saying they have blocked him
The ICC social media team.
Yes.
No,
Why?
what he would have
He
done.
must have.
He
I
himself
told
doesn't
him that he said some bad about some team or something.
They blocked.
Pakistan team. This. and
No,
that.
they can't block him.
Yes, I said, listen, you're not telling us the truth. You must have abused abusive language or something. Then they must have.
No,
Apparently
maybe
you also
no.
blocked him.
The ICC social media.
Apparently you've also blocked him.
No, he's saying ask the reason
Nikhil
to Nikhil behind me. Matlab, behind,
Oh, that
I'm not
way.
blocked.
not him.
Achha,
So he's saying that Nikhil knows the story. No, maybe silly point. Maybe did you?
They have made a silly point.
Yeah, no. Maybe he may have uploaded some videos. That would have gotten him blocked.
No, he's saying that he was being overly critical of Pakistan and they blocked him. I said that cannot be the reason.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Unless you've been abusive,
Then
you can get blocked. So don't be abusive.
So
Please.
Kiran Pokhral is saying, big fan Nikhil sir. KL Rahul will be the man of the series in the Asia Cup.
Oh, that's a big call.
He's
Very big
from
call.
Nepal.
Oh,
Kiran is from
Nepal, Kiran.
Love the place.
Lovely place. Yeah, big call, Kiran has made about KL
I think
Rahul.
he has
Shane
more,
Watson
I think he
also.
has more faith in KL than a lot of Indian fans do.
Yeah, that's true, Kiran. No, because, I mean, of course he can be,
He's getting married in December, is it?
is it? I didn't know.
Apparently Sunil Shetty also confirmed it. I don't know what is happening here.
Yeah, December. They're getting married.
Oh, so this could be an early marriage gift to his future wife and father-in-law
The
and all
entire
that.
country would host,
Yes.
raise a toast to him.
No, in fact, if you remember, he's a safe bet to. We used to consider like IPL would start. You would ask who could be the K. Rahul. Safe bet. And so, if you had said this a few months ago, I would have believed it. Just that he's come back after injury and this time he's had in Zimbabwe, I'm a bit
Again,
doubtful. Otherwise, it's a safe bet.
Otherwise, it's always a good call.
Yeah,
If he's in good
KL Rahul.
form,
Yeah.
in rhythm.
You know, he
Easy
get
bet.
plenty of runs. You know that. So,
Yeah.
But right now, Aditya Kavlekar has a question. Will India be able to play the new attacking style of cricket against Pakistan in such pressure game, or will they play
Or will take such a way work in a pressure game like this? I think they'll go for it. I think they'll be doubly
Good
confident.
question, but what do you do? Do you follow the template that Rohit Sharma has said they'll play? And Rahul
They
Dravid
better
has
do that.
now there's no
but it's
Shaheen
the
on.
first game. So that's the only thing. It's the first game. How do you face the first ball? What is the mindset when you face the first ball? You've been an opening batsman.
said. Don't say that. I'll get trolled like crazy.
What?
People will say, "Arey apna, don't give your fattas. This is international."
अरे ठीक है यार फट्टास ऐसा नहीं है somebody देखो निखिल honestly any international cricketer
हाँ.
would one day have been playing in the mohallas like us.
Yes. Arey, where we play, international cricketers play.
Exactly.
नहीं देखो honestly
And we
यार
have played with international cricketers.
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ
So many Ranji cricketers.
yeah. No, the point that I'm making is that the sound of the ball hitting the bat is
Oh, yes.
exactly the same
Yes.
in club cricket or in international cricket.
That is
right?
true. That is true.
And I'm going to be 50 in January. Every Sunday that I get an opportunity to play a game,
Yes.
and I'm lucky enough that I get good club cricket, I think of it as possibly the last match that I'm playing.
Why?
Maybe next Sunday nobody calls
Hadi.
me.
Hadi
No,
only.
नहीं, next Sunday कोई
You
बुलाए
have your own team.
just a point. So every Sunday morning I feel blessed when I go out and
Play a
play a club game. And honestly, every ball I'm just cheating death. When you get out playing a cricket match, for a split second, when you get out, it is like dying.
That is true.
It is like death. So every ball you're trying to dodge or cheat death. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, then there should not be any fan also. Why be fans?
Yeah, because fans put pressure too, right? So,
Yeah, we are playing with 20-year-old Shashwat. How old are you, Shashwat? 21. See.
Effortless tuck, fetch the ball.
Okay. Oh, Vicky Jha says. Please read the comment.
So Vicky Jha says, big fan of Sports Talk and Sports Today. Thank you. Mark my words, Virat is going to be the man of the tournament in the T20 World Cup.
Okay. Vicky Jha. If that happens, let me tell you, it'll augur very well for Indian cricket.
Yeah.
And the stocks of Indian team will be there, will shoot up. And India will suddenly, be in the conversation as one of the favorites for the T20 World Cup. He's picked Virat.
I really hope India win both the Asia Cup and the World Cup. Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
bumper Diwali it will be.
Just imagine, Diwali to
So
is
the India-Pakistan will happen before Diwali?
just a day before Diwali.
Just a day. Oh, wow.
So if India were to win both the Asia Cup and the World Cup, Nikhil, imagine how cricket will bring positivity to your entire nation.
You know how many people will be joining us on AajTak and Sports Today?
If this first game on Sunday, while me and Nikhil will be live from
please tell them.
outside the Dubai International Stadium with Harbhajan Singh. So you will have exclusive coverage from Dubai on Sports Today and AajTak. I would bet on the fact that if India were to beat Pakistan this Sunday around 11 o'clock, Sports Today will have about 8 to 10,000 people live.
New record that will be for us.
What is the record?
3,000-4,000 or something.
You will have at least 8 to 10,000 people live on your channel when India beat Pakistan 11 o'clock on Sunday. And I really hope that AajTak will also break the previous record of
Which is?
1,35,000 live watching.
Oh boy. You will break it.
It can be 1.5 lakh on.
But the record, whether it breaks now, the record would be set on the final of Asia Cup. India-Pakistan final.
Fingers crossed.
And India win there.
I really hope that by the time the Asia Cup gets over and Nikhil brings the Asia Cup back home on the 12th of September.
No, you will also be there.
Yeah, of
Final
course.
then, yeah.
So Sports Today, and because we're going to make a very honest effort. We're not promising the moon, but we'll make a very honest effort to bring you live action from Dubai, credible stories, credible information,
Yes.
lot of color and interviews. I would expect Sports Today to add about 2 to 3 lakh subscribers during the Asia Cup.
Oh no way. That will be like doubling.
Shart
tripling.
hogi?
I don't know. You know this.
2.5 lakh total after the Asia Cup. Can we
my God.
So doubling our
wage a bet? Huh?
I have no idea.
क्यों जी? What do you think? इज्जत रख लेना यार. If India win the Asia Cup on the 11th,
They win, yeah.
please ensure that Sports Today has the subscribers.
The ones that are watching are already subscribers, most of them.
No, there will be more.
Yes. of
There will be
course.
more. And AajTak, I would really hope to touch 7 million if India were to win the
Oh yeah.
Asia Cup. And World Cup we will see.
World Cup also. Huge that will be. Go down to the bottom, Shashwat, please. Yes, we can. Sachin Kashyap is saying India can win. Huh?
India will win, yaar. India the favorite, yaar.
Post the Asia Cup, can we have some episodes like the old days?
कहानी
Oh, Vadikar 71.
मतलब कहानी like
Roy SP.
we do on SportsTak.
Yes.
100% यार.
Roy SP wants stories. Of course.
But these guys don't call me. Otherwise,
No, before that, we will bring you fresh stories from Asia Cup. These are nostalgic old stories that we'll visit after Asia Cup, before the T20 World Cup. But before that, we'll have enough of fresh stories to bring you. What is Silly Point's question?
I think he's saying that Team India has Surya Kumar Yadav as an anchor with a stunning strike rate of 175. So he says that 40 ball, like scoring 50 or 40 balls is not appropriate for T20Is anymore. We need someone who can play with the same intensity throughout. I don't know who's
So he's saying more Suryas in the team. Well, that is true, I agree. But that's not what you get. Na? Surya is a rare kind of a
Exactly.
player. Most teams would want one Surya. You have one Surya and you're asking for
a whole
more
team of
Suryas.
Suryas. Yeah.
That's not possible, my friend. He's rare. What did Wasim Akram say about Surya?
He said that like of the Indian batsmen currently, he's my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not surprised actually.
And to be fair, he's worked with Surya from when he was much younger.
My favorite too. If you were to ask me to pick one player in this current T20 team who excites me, who I want to watch bat, Surya Kumar Yadav, Mr. 360. You tell me, we go to Dubai, we have to cover the match, then maybe we'll have to leave the match midway to reach where Harbhajan is to do the show, and you say, okay, fine, you can watch one batsman, till he's batting we'll be here, but we have to leave after that. So you pick one batsman, I would pick Surya Kumar. Till Sky is batting, I want to watch. If he's out, then okay, we can go to the yacht.
He's got a yacht.
No.
Are you seriously serious about the yacht? Not Surya, about the yacht.
Yacht? I don't have. We have been told reliably that we will
We'll have to shop, yeah. We'll have to buy new clothes, good clothes, to be on a yacht.
Yeah. Otherwise they'll tell us, get off. Imagine us doing a show, and let's hear it from what they have to think. What do you think of an idea of doing a show from the yacht at the marina, the backdrop of Burj Khalifa?
From a 4-bedroom yacht.
4-bedroom yacht, oh my god. Wow. That would be just wow. And it's moving or it's just parked?
How do I know, yaar?
I'm just saying.
You will have to speak to your assistants in Dubai. Your office is in Dubai.
No office. We are going with some influential people who will help us, not us. You and I don't have such rich friends. We have one, Chandresh.
He's so kindly agreed to lend his villa to us.
Villa, yeah.
And after the Pakistani game, I think we're going to shift into that villa. I think there's a driving range also, golf driving range. And, not close by. The back lawns of Chandresh's villa.
So, what are the stories we'll be bringing them?
Yeah, are you going to tell all the rival channels?
That is true. That is true. Actually, we end up saying it and then realize, how do people know?
So Vicky Jha wants to know from you.
I'll be there today. Yeah.
Huh?
On Sports Tak he's asking now. 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
8 o'clock live. Yes, Vicky Jha. I'll see you. Bottom में आयो सीधा. अरे रोक लो कहीं पे. Mahesh says, if KL Rahul doesn't perform well in Asia Cup, will you still open with him or bench him? Of course you will.
You're opening with him because he's still rusty. So
Silly Point say the hype Shubman Gill is getting is unreal. Gill is getting compared all day along with Virat and Rohit. Somehow it makes me think, where did it all go wrong for Prithvi?
two things: one, fitness issues; two, he tends to always get kind of caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. He had that suspension, that backdated suspension. I don't think that helped him.
Yeah. Also, why Shubman I think is being spoken of. Sometimes it's not just the runs; it's just how a player looks.
He's so easy on the eye, so easy.
But actually, I was just thinking about it the other day. One is that he's so easy on the eye, and that's it. And I was thinking, why is it that we got so excited with his first 100 and he came close in West Indies? But I mean, to be fair, both West Indies, Zimbabwe teams left a lot to be done. I also think that as a country, we're now getting a bit desperate to find the next Rohit and Virat. Somewhere back of our heads, we know that their time is going, and we're so desperate as cricket fans now. We want the next hero, and we're looking at the first guy, and we're like, oh, this is the guy.
The only thing is, you've got to be careful.
Yes.
If the first guy doesn't score runs in a consistent manner, give him time. Don't jump onto the second one, and the third, and the fourth.
Yeah.
And the fifth.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Ankur Pandey says Virat Kohli's strength is he plays on the front foot, but that strength has become the weakness now. It's not easy to resolve. Ankur makes a valid point also. There was another question. We've spoken about this, Ankur, many times before also. But I remember this whole thing about him going on the back foot. Then he went on the back foot, and everyone got so excited. He went back on the. But that didn't quite work out too. Pradyuman, I also hope, if I can be the lucky charm, the team wins. At least reach till the final, so they should reach.
Final, they should reach.
Yeah, that'll be disappointing.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing short of the cup.
Yeah.
Asia Cup.
Go to the bottom. We'll take one or two more questions before. Yeah. कहीं तो रोक लो. कहीं भी रोक लो. Piyush Roy says if Rohit Sharma scores his 5th T20 100 in Asia Cup, maza aa jayega. That's true. He can.
He could.
He's showing some sparks of brilliance. But and then again 2-3 not great games.
But the one thing that I think Rohit has made clear in the last couple of series is that he doesn't really want a batsman, the top order batsman, to only go for a big knock. He would much rather, I mean, ideally you would want somebody getting a 60 or a 70 or a 80 or a 100.
Yeah.
But if you're getting a 35 of 17, 18 balls, I think the team will be happy with that stuff.
Yeah. No,
They don't look for anchors anymore.
Yeah.
out of all
The only
people-
anchor that you would look for is for his
Yacht anchor.
for your yacht. We may,
not my
if you decide to give us a spin,
friend of your influential friends yacht.
people know. I am on SportsTak, which is a Hindi
So-
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You had
English,
Sports
Hindi,
Today.
Where is it?
Because यार yacht और किश्ती two separate things ना. मैं आपको
कश्ती।
किश्ती पे ले जाऊंगा, आप yacht पे लेके जाओगे. That's the only difference.
KP Cricket Editor says, my gut feeling is Rohit Sharma will fire in Indo-Pak game and take the revenge of his last year World Cup.
Let us also be aware of Pakistan. Let us also not underestimate Pakistan the way we did last year and put pressure on the Indian team, and then the Indian team had this fear of failure. And I'm already seeing on social media, people are rubbishing Pakistan, writing them off.
Oh, no.
I don't think that is the case. It's that team has an advantage of having beaten you last year in a big game. They played the semi-finals. We lost in the first round. They will miss Shaheen Afridi more than we might miss Bumrah.
Yeah.
But they've got a good team.
If you were to ask me to compare the top three at the moment, I'm going to give Pakistan the edge. Babar's been getting runs.
Babar,
Fakhar has
Rizwan.
been getting runs.
And
Rizwan
Rizwan.
not so much recently, but yes, he's still
I mean,
quite a-
2021, I think he was the
Highest.
T20 player of the year.
I'm saying recently, Fakhar's got runs, Babar's been getting consistent runs.
Yeah.
Whereas for India, KL, Rohit, Virat, all are rusty.
Yeah.
I mean, they of course all have potential, but I'm just saying on form,
The Pakistan
edge is
top
with
order is
Pakistan,
better.
yeah, top three. But overall, then if you look at the middle order, the bowling, I think India
India
holds the edge.
kind of trumps them.
Yeah.
India are better prepared. I think India
Also
are
played a
better
lot of
prepared.
games, yeah.
And unlike last year, when India, I think, were overcooked. They had just played the IPL in those conditions. They were the IPL also. They were coming from England, and they played the IPL. And the IPL did not happen. Wasn't played on good pitches. The pitches were substandard. Your batsmen lost the confidence. And when you don't score runs in whatever form that you're playing in, if you don't score runs, even if you see that this wicket is going to be good, you still remember the 5 failures that you had. I think that is why your batting wasn't up to the mark that day.
Plus some questionable team calls otherwise in terms of selection.
Yes.
No UCL.
Murphy's law.
Yep.
When some things got to go wrong, it becomes worse.
It goes really well.
It will go wrong. There is a super chat, just take that.
And let us.
I think we took.
Vicky Jha, we took your chat. Vicky Jha had said that Nikhil,
Please come
he's
to-
a
Bhaiya,
he's a
come
big
to-
fan of Nikhil, and he wanted you to be on SportsTak. Bhaiya will be on SportsTak at 8 o'clock, yaar.
Are we going to meet Bhaiya and
Yeah. Of course, yaar.
well, just come out of that?
But how's the? There is no quarantine, is it?
No, no more quarantine.
Can you?
Yes, directly now.
Anti-corruption unit.
That you have to look at. But
Shall I have to carry the
Accreditation.
mithai? No, I'll have to carry his mithai, na yaar.
yes,
Must carry his mithai.
Must. Final question. Devansh Thakur wants to know: can India rest Hardik in some league matches of Asia Cup, keeping in mind
Should
the
not.
World T20?
Why? How many games do you have in the Asia Cup?
Yeah.
you
And there's a
don't have
big
that
gap.
And why
between
rest?
these
Why rest Hardik? Why rest Hardik?
games. I think we're trying to say that, let's say you would play that one game against a qualifier.
Just one game. So the league game is, I mean, again, this is cricket. The only light game that you would have is the league game on the 31st.
Yeah.
And then in the Super Fours, you'll play all the 3 international teams, the top 4 teams. and then the finals.
Yeah.
So
Yep. You'll play.
You probably want to play him everywhere because again,
mostly
there's a
play
bit of a gap.
Pakistan, and then between the three, that is Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Sri Lanka,
हाँ
will
जी.
play two. So
चलिए जी.
okay. Just go. What is Sarvesh saying? 1 second, I'll just take.
Just
He's talking about HS Pranoy. We've done Sarvesh already.
Sarvesh, we've been covering
It's already there. I saw on sports.
Yeah, we've been
Please
covering
check
the
it out.
World Badminton, the World Championship throughout the day. All the results are there. Don't worry, it's all there.
Ansh Agarwal ko hi.
अरे अंश, thank you very much यार for all your love.
Okay then, thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow, and then of course from Friday onwards we will be half here, half in
You'll be
Dubai.
joining us virtually, essentially.
Yes.
We'll
Zoom.
be 100% here, and we'll be 100% there. Not
Yes.
50-50. We'll double up.
See you. Bye bye. Vanakkam.
Welcome.